It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
And welcome to Car Con Carne, still in quarantine. It's Quarantine Con Carne. I'm James Van Alstyne, and since I haven't been able to go to restaurants and locations since March, I thought it was important to start visiting them virtually. My guest tonight is Lindsey Anderson-Perez. She is the owner, sommelier, and chef at Uvae Kitchen and Wine Bar, 5553 North Clark. Hello, Lindsey.
Thank you so much for having me tonight. I appreciate it.
So Uvae opened just over a year ago. Let's talk a little bit about Andersonville, that retail strip. I lived at Paulina and Lawrence for many years. This was around the turn of the century. I knew that whole area was changing when Kalo flipped from being like a red velvet walled pizza joint to a high-end Italian dining experience. That whole neighborhood, it's unrecognizable after being away for a while. It's fascinating how much it's transformed.
I also experienced the Andersonville neighborhood many, many years ago. When I first moved to the city at 22, I lived on Foster and Kedzie, so very underdeveloped neighborhood. At that point in time, I went to college at Northeastern Illinois University, which is right down the street, but kind of Andersonville was a Swedish neighborhood that we would drive through and kind of see and think about. But today it's a mecca of dining and shopping and small business, and
it's amazing. Yeah, you could definitely spend a full day walking up and down from Foster on up to heading towards Peterson, up to like Gethsemane. That's where you turn around. You opened up Uvae Kitchen and Wine Bar a year ago. Talk about that. I'm sure, heading into this year, it was all guns a-blazing, all optimism, and the pandemic hit. How are things going there? How has it been in the first year?
So to get back to kind of the beginning of Uvae, I chose Andersonville because prior to deciding to open my own restaurant solely by myself, no investors, no partners, that kind of thing, I was a partner in a small restaurant group, and we opened a restaurant in Andersonville. So I definitely got to experience the difference in culture. I think for those of us that live in the city, we absolutely are neighborhood driven, and each neighborhood offers something unique and special. But I really connected to Andersonville. And the best way that I can describe it to people is it is absolutely a small town in the big city. Very, very small, business driven. Our chamber is one of the most supportive chambers that I've ever experienced. And I've worked in a lot of different neighborhoods in the city. And people they want to know each other and they want to support each other. And that was super important to me when opening a brand new business. So that's why I chose Andersonville, and a year and a half later, I'm extremely thankful that I chose this neighborhood because that's pretty much the driving force behind our success during the pandemic.
Oh, I love hearing that. The neighborhood supports its own. I love that. So opening this place, being who you are, I find the world of wine to be overwhelming. This is your universe. You are a sommelier. I feel like if you don't get into it from early adulthood, it's kind of daunting to jump in and know what you're doing. But education's kind of your bag. Like you're here to bring information down from the mountain to people like me to better understand wine.
Absolutely. And I think during the pandemic and during the shutdown, I think we all probably consumed more wine than we planned on,
yes,
if you will. And my first and foremost thing that I tell people as a sommelier, because I absolutely agree that wine can be intimidating and the term sommelier can be intimidating, you have to drink what you like and you have to be confident in what you like. So if you're interested in learning more about wine and understanding why you like certain things and looking for varietals that you may not know or may be out of your comfort zone. Look at what you like and then understand why you like that, and we can find new and different things for you to try. But no matter what, the world of wine is, education is infinite. Like, I will never ever know everything about wine, and if you don't know anything about wine, just go for what you like, and that's the most important thing.
That makes perfect sense to me. Well, let's talk a little bit about holiday wine. We're recording this on December 15th. Christmas is 10 days away. Are there wines we should be digging into for celebrations, be they small, medium, or large?
Well, first and foremost, for celebrations, and we absolutely have a lot to celebrate. We're almost up to 2020.
There it is.
And celebrating 2021 and the new year. So obviously, bubbles are the first thing that I'm going to turn to. Bubbles can reach the gamut of very, very expensive vintage Chardonnay or Champagne, all the way down to a really approachable Prosecco. So understanding what you like in aroma flavor profiles and how much you want to spend is very important as far as choosing your holiday celebratory wine. But I think bubbles are fitting for the holidays.
What about wine cocktails? Tell me about those.
We do a lot of wine-based cocktails at the restaurant when we're open for normal business. I think that people think of wine as wine, but you have to understand that grapes can be a distilled spirit as well as just a fermented spirit. So wine can be used in many different aspects of cocktails. Vermouth is a distilled grape-based spirit, as well as many other things. So you can definitely play a lot with wine and cocktails.
All right. So this weekend you're doing a pop-up, and I love stories like this, and it's something I've returned to topically throughout the year. Just business owners, especially independent business owners, finding ways to innovate around the pandemic, find ways to do the things they do in different ways. You're doing this pop-up. This isn't the first weekend you're doing it, but it's the last weekend before the holiday. Tell me, let's start with involving other businesses. There's kind of like a DIY gift basket creation thing you have going on at this pop-up.
Well, Uvae is absolutely a small business. It is, again, like, I'm the sole owner. I work every day, whether in the kitchen or on the floor, whatever. And I just want to support small business. And I think that, again, that's very, very important in the Andersonville community. So we made the difficult decision to close for regular dining because our menu, while it's great in the summertime for patio dining, it's not really conducive to to-go food.
Right.
I don't know if anyone's searching on the internet for to-go octopus or scallops. But to maintain those really fresh products and just sit and wait for someone to order it is not really conducive. And we want to kind of uphold our brand and make sure that we're staying who we are, regardless of whether or not we're open for regular dining. Mm-hmm. So we made the difficult decision that we just needed to close. And I wanted to do something relevant to the neighborhood, relevant to our brand. And we decided to open this pop-up shop of, we can sell our wine and our cheese and do baskets for the holidays for, retail sales. But why not involve the rest of the community? Because Andersonville is 100% based on community. They're based on small business. And I was fortunate enough that I know a lot of people, small businesses, small restaurant owners in the community that wanted to participate. And then it just boomed overnight by referrals. So we have so many different artists, so many different food vendors. We have food trucks on the weekend. Everyone wants to be involved. And I think it just makes a really nice event for people that want to shop small this holiday season and support their communities rather than big boxing it.
I think we all do. And I think there is something truly special about buying local, buying independent. I think as a gift recipient, I appreciate that. I like, it feels more thoughtful to give me something that also supports the community at the same time, or gives someone something. I think this is at 5553 North Clark. It's the pop-up is at Uvae.
It is. We're right on the corner of Clark and Bryn Mawr. We're doing it Friday night from 5 to 8 for the late night Andersonville retail shopping, and then Saturdays and Sundays 12 to 5. And we have a variety of different vendors. The majority of them live in Andersonville. Lots of different products that are created in Andersonville, anywhere from food products to crafts, holiday decorations, that sort of thing. So you kind of get the opportunity to shop the gamut. And then Uvae ourselves, we're offering build your own baskets. So we're offering gourmet cheeses, our retail wine shop, so you can pick out different bottles of wine, and then you can kind of just go around the store and pick different items to put in your gift basket. So really putting your own personal spin on an amazing gift basket.
And since you basically live there, you'll be there all weekend. So if someone has questions about wine or isn't sure about what they're picking out, you can be there to kind of be their Sherpa through the mountains of wine.
Absolutely. And an important thing about my business is that it's my business. So I am there all the time, every moment that we're open, because creating these different relationships with guests just through explaining a wine, referring a wine, but not only my products, but also being like, well, I know Lauren personally from Twiddly Bits, and her butters and her pickled items are amazing, and this is what you can use them in, is kind of all about what small business is made on. So
I love that. And this community has supported you. Thank goodness. And you in turn are there for them. Uvae Kitchen and Wine Bar is on Clark Street, 5553 North Clark. The pop-up is happening this weekend. If you're listening, heading into the weekend of the, oh gosh, I'm terrible at dates. Friday's what? Friday's the 18th? 17th? The weekend before Christmas. The weekend before Christmas.
18th. The 18th through the 21st.
There you go. The weekend before Christmas. You will be there. And, you know, just because the pop-up ends this weekend doesn't mean you can't support Uvae moving forward. Lindsey Anderson-Perez, I appreciate your time, and I hope that 2021 for all of us is prosperous and better. But, you know, I wish you continued success with what you're doing there on North Clark Street.
Thank you so much for hosting us, and thank you so much for promoting the market and all the small businesses that are involved. We all definitely appreciate it.